like both of the teams, they've actually got game number 2 started here. So I think it's without further ado, we should go ahead and look to jump into what is going to be game 2. So game 2 coming up, guys. Let's take a look. All right, so as you can see, the locking stage has in fact already begun for this game. With that said, the blind bands, again, unfortunately, I wasn't able to join in time to actually get the blind bands and who blind band what. But the blind bands overall, we do have Fade, Wild Soul, Tundra, and Pebbles as our 4 blind bands here. So no overlapping blind bands this time. Locking phase starting. We have Bubbles into Plague Rider into Polywog Pre. So once again, mine is for whatever reason just a little bit different than yours, but
it's so weird.
At least it actually is all the same heroes. That's
same order, like Polywog and Plague were locked out by the Hellborn team, and yeah, that's kind of interesting. But anyway, what do you know? We see that Wild Soul blind band yet again, and also that Fade. So something tells me that Fade actually was blind banned by the Hellborn team, because I don't believe was it blind banned last time?
It was banned last game, not blind banned.
Okay.
Remember that.
Well, that's kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah, Fade's going to be banned out here. That's a hero that's just so difficult to deal with, especially if you're a support. I mean, if you're a support, I feel for you, because you're going to have to buy so many Wars of Revelation. You're probably the target of choice most of the time for that Fade, so rightfully banned out there. Some more locks coming out, Meraxis and Glacius.
Yeah.
So very strong heroes as well. We see Meraxis dual lane a lot of time with someone like a Luna, someone like Glacius, because it actually does very, very well in that kind of dual lane.
Yeah. Then we see KS for Life right there for Team Squirtle. Going to go ahead and final lock that Pharaoh, who, you know, obviously had a pretty solid performance last game despite being on the losing team, but still altogether just a very strong hero, especially in that suicide role. You can even play him a solo role effectively, and especially at the level 6-7 mark, he can become a very, very aggressive ganker for your team. So strong lock pool yet again, especially seeing that more access in there, usually just putting a great dual lane hero, and usually we see him banned, but this time around going to be picked up from the lock pool perhaps by one of these two teams. Tempest is going to be the first ban, though, coming out as a follow-up with Ophelia, so starting out jungle heavy here.
Yeah.
When it comes to the bans so far. You know, speaking of jungle, though, Parasite wasn't banned or even picked last game, so we'll see if that perhaps changes around, and neither was Jeremiah. Jeremiah usually is a hero we see banned, but went through the whole onslaught of bans and picks and locks and everything last time, so.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Now, I talked about Jeremiah before. That's a hero that is very... A lot of top-tier teams are scared of that hero, and they're afraid of that hero. But at the same time, it's kind of awkward to lane him if you think about it. I mean, you don't really want to dump him into a lane where he's secured free farm, because he doesn't need that much farm. But at the same time, you don't want to dump him into a lane where he's getting absolutely nothing, because he is quite a weak laner. But he can survive in certain situations. That's why I feel like the best way to maybe play him is in his suicide role. But yeah, you're right. We just typically don't see it. It is often banned out. But anyway, some more bans coming out. Draconis and now Parasite. So if you're looking for a jungler, right now you are having that Keeper of the Forest available, as well as that War Beast. I'm sure I can't find him on the map, because the portraits always change when new heroes are added and all that kind of, all that jazz. But
War Beast. Where is War Beast?
Where is he?
He is,
he's bottom right.
Bottom,
okay.
Yep.
I think he's probably been there the whole time, but I'm just stupid right now. And then, of course, Legionnaire. So there are jungles available, but the final ban coming out is Nymphora, as well as that Nymphora, as well as that Silhouette.
And how about Fiat All-Stars? They first picked Slither last game, and they go with the first pick Pyromancer this time around. So at least initially, they'll like to throw us off guard perhaps a little bit. Now, Pyromancer, compared to Soulstealer at least, he, makes more sense. But at the same time, still a first pick material. I don't know if I see that. But, hey, Pyromancer is a strong hero, can be a very fun hero to watch. So I'm excited to see what Viet All-Stars does with him. Look at the response, though. Keeper of the Forest and Dr. Repulsor picked up. I've been hearing from some players that Dr. Repulsor is still a very powerful hero. We just never really see him for whatever reason, and can actually take over games. So
yeah,
I do remember when he was played that he definitely did take over games, and he was very powerful, but we haven't seen him in forever, Trev.
I feel like Dr. Repulsor would be really good in this metagame right now, because you can solo him in the short lane against a lot of different suicide heroes, and you can do it very effectively. Doctor versus Bubbles, it's actually kind of even, because Bubbles has the attack range on him, but still could actually do just fine by spamming out the lane. And if he has any kind of jungler to help him, like say a Parasite, or even just the threat of that gank coming out, Dr. Repulsor would do just fine in that lane. Mid, Dr. Repulsor is actually not the strongest mid in the world. He gets out harassed and out out-CS by a lot of different heroes. I mean, if Pyro was mid against Doctor, I expect Pyro to beat him every single time, just because he has the massive stun, spam, and the range on Doctor. But in the mid to late game, especially, Doctor Repulsor just has his way with, especially those support heroes, being able to jump in, kill them, and then jump out instantly.
Yeah, it's that and a mix of that, and also just naturally building up his intelligence, building up his regen. It is absolutely ridiculous on that hero. I mean, obviously that's the whole point of the hero, is synergizing his ultimate really with his third ability, I believe. It's the Electric Frenzy. If you have the mana pool, if you have the regen for it, you can do some dominating things with that. So, and that's I always like to say, having a regen rune on him is probably the most powerful hero rune combination in the game. So, Aluna is going to be the final regular pick over here for the Hellborn side. Monkey King and Torturer, by the way, though, were the follow-up, their final 2 picks on Viet All-Star side. So perhaps they were the ones to lock Monkey King. Obviously, we didn't see him last game. We saw him in the lock pool, though. But they pick up Monkey King here in the regular picking stage. So, I mean, you look at those first 3 heroes, that's a lot of aggression coming out. Moraxis actually to follow it up at the lock pool. Pharaoh and Polywog Priest coming out here for Squirtle. And now Viet All-Stars has, well, one of 3 heroes to choose from. We'll see what they go with. It is going to be Plague Rider. So things finishing off fairly quickly here. Let's look at the Legion team, Trelf. What do you make of their side?
Yeah, Pyromancer, Torturer, Monkey King, Moraxis. Oh, they switched it up, so who did I miss? Monkey King.
Plague Rider.
Plague Rider, okay. Yeah, kind of interesting. I'm curious as to how they're going to lane this. Plague Rider, of course, we talked about just a second ago, or last game, how Plague Rider in a dual lane with Moraxis or a tanky hero like Tulifont last time can be effective, but Plague Rider loses his kind of he loses all that experience that he could do a lot with. As we saw last game, he was the top level in the game for quite some time and just had his way. In fact, we've seen a lot of Plague Rider just dominating. Even yesterday, we cast Diet Zero playing that Plague Rider just did a fantastic job and kind of took over those games with those great Plague ultimates.
Yeah.
This team, though, a lot of burst, a lot of crazy damage coming. I mean, Monkey King being able to disjoint and displace a lot of different heroes. They have a strong lineup, I got to say.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, burst damage is by all means there. You got your Pyromancer, your Monkey King, your Torture even. Moraxis can definitely do some decent bursts. So, it is there. We're going to have a pause to start this game, but it's just obviously comes down to the execution. I'm still very intrigued, though, to see this Dr. Repulsor, just simply because it has been a while since we've seen him on the competitive scene. And like I said, when he was used, I do remember him taking over games, but it just has been a damn long time since we've seen a Dr. Repulsor do really anything on the competitive scene. So no friends here. We'll see how he performs playing this Dr. Repulsor. Currently heading towards the bottom lane. He is running down there with Polywog Priest and Pharaoh, actually. You see Keeper of the Forest currently sitting in the well. Looks like 5s there on Keeper of the Forest. He's going to go ahead and disconnect. Apparently having some issues, but hopefully we'll reconnect and be fine. Obviously, I was doing the last game. I happened to do a ping all just out of curiosity. As I said earlier, this is an Australian team here on the side of Squirtle here now on the Hellborn side. So it's an Australian, and apparently I think VAS over here, Viet All-Stars, are actually an American team. Because their ping actually looked pretty solid, average of around 110 to 130 or so. So
yeah, it did.
But yeah, 5s reconnects, and here we go, resuming the game. But they're sending 3 heroes currently to the bottom lane. It looks like actually Luna also going to be joining them. So they want to make sure to get this water site down.
Yeah, and look at actually 5s and No Friends in particular. Well, actually, a lot of them are pinging very high. No Friends is pinging at about 320 MS. So you got to give him a lot of credit. And he's going to be playing this Doctor, and that's a hero. Oh, what do you know? Level 1 Kongor is in the works. And actually, they can do it very quickly with the Tree Dogs, with the Hellfire from Pharaoh, and the Doctor, spamming out. Actually, that thing is not going to hit Kongor.
Yeah.
But kind of interesting right there. The Bass, or the Ring of the Teacher is here. It's up on Keeper of the Forest. So, yeah, this is going to be a level 1 Kongor. I got to say, this is a pretty nice team for it, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Pharaoh and Keeper of the Forest, they will just tank that for days pretty much, and they'll give you enough time to, by all means, make the level 1 Kongor easily happen. So, yeah, Dr. Repulsor, saw the electric turret, didn't really do too much, but this is going to happen. The Legion team has absolutely no clue. You see them kind of wandering while themselves going to the lanes, but they're going to see that Kongor message pop up, and they're going to be like, crap. I am always curious to see not only if they spread out maybe to try to get the experience on maybe 1 or 2 heroes, but also who's going to get the token of life. You see Kongor going to be dying here within the next 5 or 6 seconds. Luna's already running away, actually, so she's going to go ahead and let the other heroes get the experience. Token of life is picked up on Polywog Priest right there.
That is kind of an interesting strategy, but Will Smith, Best Rapper 2012 swag. Anyway, who got the token? It was actually Polywog Priest. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, you know, one of the funny thing is I've tried this out. I was theory crafting a long time ago, I think with Cardinal, and we were thinking, what are the best heroes you could just pool, you know, a level 1 Conqueror, all the experience onto if you're going in a mid matchup. And we talked about Polywog would be great because you basically get what's almost a free level 6 and just War Trap right when you come to the lane.
Yeah.
Must be brutal. Also, Gauntlet was one of them. Pebbles was another. But regardless, they're going to spread it out a little bit among those.
Polywog's already level 3.
Yeah, I know.
That's how fast, because just Luna going away, I mean, it gave him just enough experience to be like 2.5, and more so like even 2 3/4. So, yeah, she's already level 3. Keeper the Force is already level 3. And we've talked about this before. If you get a level 1 Conqueror, your chances of actually losing the game in the end is very, very small. We do see in the middle lane, Pyromancer is going to end up dropping right here. Polywog Priest took a lot of damage, but again, he has a token alive, so I wasn't necessarily too concerned. And Pharaoh apparently playing a roaming Pharaoh, setting up a kill, actually. So I'm sure that's got to be frustrating, especially for our Pyromancer player.
And good job by him, too. As Polywog was channeling that tongue tie, he actually attacked, or Pharaoh, that is, attacked Pyro because Polywog was going to die, no doubt, to the damage coming out from that tower. But with the attack from Pharaoh, it actually changed the target from the tower to him and actually saved Polywog and was able to stop that token from being used early on.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was very interesting right there. Level 4 Polywog Priest. He already has a bottle. Man, I mean, it's got to just be so intimidating. Like, if you're the Legion team right here in VAS All-Stars, you just look at the levels already, look at the items that they already have. It's just like, why? This sucks. Like, what do we do against this?
Yeah.
That's how I'd be reacting. And the crybaby that I am.
What's worse, too, is that the Keeper was the one that picked up the last hit for Kongor, which means he's probably going to have a much faster Ring of the Teacher. Or, sorry, not Ring of the Teacher, but he already has one.
Sorcery.
Ring of Sorcery, yes.
Yeah, he already has the Ring of the Teacher, exactly, and tells me the exile can be finished. Pharaoh actually took a little bit of damage on here, but he happened to have 2 health potions on him, and he needed both of them, because he activated the first one, it got canceled immediately, but he then got a little bit more distance and then activated the second one. Now he's coming to the middle lane, so he's obviously really can't do much at the bottom side, so trying to make himself useful. He already got the earlier gank, and you see Pyromancer. He knows something's up. Pharaoh is missing. They saw him heading into the jungle, so he's just going to sit next to his tower and hope that he doesn't get jumped. But Polywog Priest is already level 5, so that War Trap is going to be coming up here in the near future. And, well, you got to figure that's going to be very, very scary for Pyromancer, of course. Then you mentioned Keeper the Forest, well on his way to that early Ring of Sorcery. Perhaps a push going to come out of that. Monkey King at the top lane. Wow, you talk about Monkey King doing burst damage. Dr. Repulsor and a Luna just absolutely melted him right there. Sure, having the levels helps, but Dr. Repulsor pulling him in with the opposite charges, a Luna with the power throw on top, and then the electric turd, just too much damage.
He actually only has level 1 into that pull as well. Usually we see it not maxed out, but actually at least level 3 by the time he's 5, just simply because the pull at this time does not pull for very long. But he is opting out of that, and it's going to go max into the electric frenzy, it looks like. So can't say I've seen that before.
Yeah, that is a little bit interesting. I mean, obviously you think about Dr. Repulsor, and as I was saying earlier, I mean, a big reason why this hero can be so successful is the synergy between his ultimate and that electric frenzy. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, you just keep spamming that, and you're just doing crazy burst damage as well as the massive slow that it puts on the target. So maybe that's some concept there. I mean, he does have to put another level into it, so he has a level 3 now, hitting level 5 overall. But at the same time, if that is the logic, you know, you won't have the biggest mana pool. You won't have the most mana regen early on in the game, so maybe that kind of takes away a little bit from it being that useful, whereas, you know, the electric turret could be more for farming tool, and even the W, the opposite charge, is obviously a very, very great ganking tool early on. So it definitely has its own values, whichever way you look at it, but he is choosing to go the electric frenzy here, so we'll see how that works out. For No Friends playing this Dr. Repulsor, he's going to be gone on right here by Monkey King, jumping back and forth. He jumps the wrong direction, though. Is he going to set up the kill? No, he will not. He gets taken out, but actually it does go Dr. Repulsor. I said a wrong direction. That was actually a missay right there. Ooh, middle lane War Trap, not successful, but still enough damage to take out Pyromancer. But yeah, Monkey King did a pretty good job of lining himself up and then getting another jump, but clearly just a little bit too much right there.
That was a good job by No Friends, too, getting that last auto attack in. And keep in mind, too, guys, that he's playing at 350 ping just about. And I'll tell you, you know, when we have all these kind of quarrels about, you know, EU versus US ping, do we play on East or do we play on EU server? It's not fair because I'm pinging 190, well, he's pinging 150. That is like nothing compared to playing on 300 plus ping.
I know.
You can. It's very easy, in my opinion, to play on 200, 250, 270 starts to get pretty laggy, but 300 plus, It's hard, man. It really does change the way you play the game considerably. So big props to him and the rest of the players on that team that are playing with considerable amounts
Well,
of ping.
there's not only that's the thing. It's not only that, but it's also the time that these guys are up at to play these matches.
Yeah.
I mean, not only do they have to deal with the latency always, but right now it's what? It's maybe like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning for them, if that. So it's pretty damn early to say the least. So they're either waking up early or just staying up late, whichever way you look at it, to play these HoN Tour matches here. So, yeah, Australian region, unfortunately, not the most friendly for them when it comes to those issues there. But, again, it's obviously when you have a huge, huge international tournament like this, you just can't simply have it great for everybody. It's some regions, unfortunately, in this case, Australia, has to kind of take that sacrifice. But teams like this, you got to definitely give a lot of props to. Of course, talking about Squirtle here for showing up and, playing very well. Obviously, they're up 1-0. Game 2, it's looking really good already. Obviously, level 1 Conger helps with that. And now only 5 minutes in, they're lead 3,000 gold and a 3,400 experience lead. Chaos for Life here on Polywog Priest, he's already level 7. He still has 2 minutes, actually, on the Token of Life. So he can still continue to play very, very aggressive with that, not worry too much about dying. So, yeah, our Legion side, I'm curious to see, how they try to approach this, knowing that they're at such a deficit early on.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Monkey King, having it with the long lane here is just kind of scary. It's kind of iffy. I always talk about how when you decide to throw heroes up in the long lane, it's just not the smartest decision, in my opinion, especially if you want to guarantee that hero farm. Actually, see Plague in a lot of trouble. This, there's the pull, actually. There's the snipe from Aluna. And a lot of damage. One more auto attack. Can he get it? Actually, he does. He turns around to auto attack. I don't know. That might have been in his demise. Monkey King doing his Monkey King thing as I talk about. He actually might be in a little trouble as well. Dr. Repulso is very low on life, but no, there's the health potion. Monkey King is in a bind. He needs to get out of here. They're going to find him. There's the stun. There's the slow from that that passive right there. And he's jumping back in. He wants to man up. He realizes he might be dead. No, here's the help. Miraxis comes in. Stuns Dr. Repulso. Dr. Repulso's in a lot of trouble. There's the impalement doing a lot of damage, but the pull coming in from Torturer. Torturer doing so much damage, and both of them die. But, of course, your boy Harry does get a kill onto Gorilla.
Yeah, that was, he could actually live there. It seemed like he was juking around this tree right here, and if he just sit on the opposite side, it seemed like Aluna would not have been able to finish him off because of the fade to black, but he chose to go all the way around. Aluna was barely able to kill him, but yeah, great mana mode right there. Excellent response coming out from Viet All-Stars,
yeah.
And they're able to at least come back there at the top side, so that was obviously great news for them, but look at the middle lane. A level 6 Keeper, already with Ring of Sorcery, a level 7 Polywog Priest, mass push in this tower. Now, Polywog doesn't have wards, and actually the Legion team is collapsing on this. Keeper of the Force is in a bit of trouble, does have Nature's Veil. Can he get it off in time? He's next to the tower, won't even matter. He's going to be in there dropping right here. Monkey King doing the damage. Pyromancer assisting. Didn't even ultimate right there, not even necessary. So, a little bit too much confidence even coming out from a Hellborn side, and that's actually a good point to bring up. If you are Squirtle here, obviously you have a huge lead here early on with the level 1 Conqueror. The laning phase started out very well as a result of that, perhaps, but the last thing you want to do is, feel overconfident and make some plays like they did right there where you just think like you're untouchable, because you're definitely not that stage yet. So,
yeah,
good kill coming out from Viet All-Stars here.
Viet
Assassins.
Yeah, that was just kind of a risky play by the Keeper of the Force in particular. He didn't have enough mana after he used that second spell of the Tree Dogs, and just didn't need to push that, didn't need to stay there. Also, the wards weren't up on Polywog, and they definitely did that. Actually, speaking of Polywog, he does come up with a haste rune. He doesn't get the ward trap, unfortunately, and he tries to actually vault over that, but the tongue tie is going to hit anyway. So good job by Poly. Good idea from Gorilla, but just not enough. Very, very close. It was I thought it was going to be a lost kill, actually, for Polywog, but does secure it.
Yeah, Pyromancer was also here, but again, just didn't have enough mana for the Blazing Strike. I don't know if it would have been enough for the kill. Deny attempt, unfortunately, not successful. Obviously, with those Polywog Priest wards, it can be very difficult. Bottom lane, Torture's in a lot of trouble right here. Pharaoh and Aluna collapsing on top of him. What the hell? I keep wanting to say, what the hero? What the hell? Unfortunately, he finds himself in a bind, and he ends up dropping right there. So
I think it's it's supposed to be like hell, but just with a an accent.
Hell? Yeah.
What the hell? It's gonna be like
what
that.
What the hell?
What the hell?
Yes. That's very likely. Pharaoh is level 6, by the way, but no, they're not going to jump right there. But yeah, top lane, top tower gets pushed in. So
yes,
lead is growing here for Squirtle.
Yep, definitely, and it's going to be fun. I always love watching Dr. Repulsor in action. I think the hero is a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. I think he actually brings a lot to the table. In the meantime, we see Monkey King getting engaged down here, actually. Expending all that mana is that Dr. Repulsor is not able to catch him, but here's the response. They're going to push this tower. The Tree Dogs are up with that Ring of the Teacher, and, I mean, Keeper doing exactly what he does. I mean, he pushes towers very, very quickly, and his ultimate is ready to go if there is response, but I doubt they're going to contest this tower.
Yeah, this is easy tower kill coming out for a HoN team. So, and you have the goal, or I have the goal per minute chart up at least, and you see, you look at it right there. It's very, very dominant all around, all across the board. In fact, every single hero has higher GPM than anyone on the Legion team, and that's when you know you're in a very difficult spot here already. Yep. 8,000 gold lead, 3,500 experience lead in favor of Squirtle once again. Feral actually running through the jungle. He's level 6, so he has a Wrath of the Feral. If he spotted Torture right here, Torture's definitely dead. Oh, Torture's in a lot of trouble. He's going to Wrath of the Feral. Yes, he is. He connects right there. Will it buy enough time for his teammate to come in time? Torture dropping quickly. Chain reaction hit. Dr. Repulsor flies in with the ultimate, but here we go. Monkey King jumping in. There comes the root coming out from Keeper of the Forest. Braxis jumping in as well. Does he have enough mana for his ultimate? No, he does not. He uses an axe. He will not be able to activate the Matrix right there. Monkey King did follow. Power Man's in the background. Phoenix Wave missing onto Feral, which would have been the guaranteed kill. Does still have the Blazing Strike. Will she use it right here? Yes, she will. Not nearly enough damage for the kill on Luna, however, who somehow is tanking enough to absorb all that damage. The power throw coming out. The Polygon bouncing around under the creep wave is not going to bounce back to Luna. Luna is still alive. Unbelievable. KS for live, picking up a hat trick. And that has got to be embarrassing for our Legion team.
Really good job by Fives. He invis actually Luna at the perfect time. And then, yeah, KS for Life found all those heroes that were just so low, such low HP, and got a very, very easy hat trick coming out for him. So he's sitting at 540 gold per minute on a Polywog. That is crazy.
10 minutes into the game.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They could actually kill Congo as well when it respawns here, I think in the next, 30 seconds or so? Oh, boop, there it goes.
You were wrong. Just respawn. Yeah, so they are running back over, and no surprise. Of course, they did run right past Ward's side here, but again, it's a case of, honestly, if you're the Legion team, do you really think you can stop this, even if you know it's happening? So this really should just be another free Conger kill coming out here for Squirtle. So only 10.5 minutes in, we're going to see the second Conger kill. That means another token of life, more gold for the team. And hell, I wouldn't be surprised with this if they just honestly go back to base, regen, group up, and just mass push here. Because with the lead that they have this early on, they could have really just finished this game, honestly, even at this early on. So it's unfortunate for Viet All-Stars, but it's seeming like their road here in the HoN Tour qualifiers could be coming to a close, unless well, a near miracle happens.
Congo is actually doing a lot of damage, but yeah, it does fall relatively quickly. And a token of life, yet again, is up on that Polywog. He dipped down a little bit in the gold per minute department, but actually, wow, look at Dr. Repulsor going man mode, as you would say. Does pick up a very easy kill onto Plague Rider, so wow, I mean, that's a hero, man, being able to go across the map, and this is just right now. Imagine when he gets items like Nullstone, like Hellflower, he's going to be able to do so much damage on top of that and go so much faster and further around.
Yeah, obviously he has another 1,400 gold saved up again in this game. Might not be able to even get to that stage because it's just the excessive lead that they have, but you're all right. I mean, the potential is definitely there, and I agree with you fully that he really is one of the more entertaining heroes to watch in the game for sure, especially in the right hand. So, but this time he's just going to go up to the top lane and continue to farm. You mentioned Polywog Praise slowing down a little bit, but still farming 482 gold per minute. I think that's still quite respectable. Has that Portal Key Steam Boots picked up, another 1,700 gold already saved up on top of that. I mean, the items are just ridiculous all across the board here for the Hellborn side. They have 2 Ring of Sorceries. They don't have anything else other than that for Aura Sense. I guess they got to bring a Teacher and Plated Greaves, but thought there might have been a little bit more. But anyways, the Legion team, I mean, taking a look at their side, we're focusing so much on Squirtle for good reason, but how is Viet All-Stars doing? Well, not the greatest. Moraxis actually does have a Portal Key here, which if he wants to purchase it, and there you go, actually. Steam Boost just finished on Pyromancer, so again, I don't think he might have wanted to rush the Portal Key right after Little Red Booties, but really, when you're down by this much, you got to hope for the best, I guess. So he's going to go the Portal Key route, just hope to get some kind of an amazing jump, and hope to be able to follow that up. But obviously, the chances of that still is very grim.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. They do have that initiation, and they do have the Plague Rider ultimate that actually did a lot of damage last time too, and that's their kind of window. The ultimate up from Pyro is also up as well. And it's just hard to coordinate these fights because Polywog is going to go man-up mode. He does have a double damage rune activated, and he doesn't have to give 2 shits about anything. He has a token of life, and here we go.
They jump Plague Rider right there. Plague Rider's going to get burst down. Well, everything used on Polywog Priest, but just as you said, he has a token of life, going to come right back up, and the Legion team is just going to melt away. Moraxis goes down. Torturer falls. Monkey King and Pyromancer just sitting back. Nothing more they can do. The tower is easily going to fall right there. The ward's assisting. And, Keeper of the Force may fall. No, deny. Nope, nope. He's trying to deny him, but he's not even able to. So, obviously having some fun right there. However, we do see a jump in the meantime. Pyromancer does fall. Monkey King also going to get picked off at the cost of Polywalk Priest's life, but still, obviously, just really having some fun at this point. Only 14 minutes in. It looks like Squirtle is actually on their way to sweeping the series and advancing on here in the losers bracket of the HoN Tier Qualifiers. But again, it ain't over officially until either the concede vote goes through or one of the shrines goes down. But I don't see a comeback happening here.
Yeah, Plague tried to use that ultimate right at the last second. Was canceled mid-animation by that Aluna stun. So good job by him. That just kind of ruined his day because he was like, I just want to use my ultimate. Guys, can't even do that. But Polywog sitting at almost 3K gold. And the world is his oyster, man. He could buy pretty much whatever he wants at this point there. It's such a sizable lead. 19-6 hero kill lead in favor of Squirtle in this this round of, well, it's going to be the first losers bracket game, I should say, or first losers bracket round. And Squirtle looking good and taking the series 2-0. But of
second
course,
one actually.
Second, okay.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, it's not over yet. Oh, just as I talked about item pickups, there's the Codex on to Polywog Priest.
Oh, Wrath of the Pharaoh just missing right there. That looked like it even just barely connected to the toe of Pyromancer, but according to the game engine, it did not. So Pyromancer will be fine and live to tell the tale another day. But him and Keeper of the Force are going to group up here at the top side. We do see in the middle lane, Dr. Repulsor is going to get jumped on right here. Pyromancer following it up. Pyromancer with a big burst right there. And Dr. Repulsor falls to the ground. So the Legion team at least showing off a little bit of their potential. They do have a lot of burst damage, even with them being underleveled and underfarmed. They can still actually take you out here. So you got to be a little bit, somewhat cautious about that if you're a Hellboy team right now. But obviously not the most dangerous thing either. Dr. Repulsor will be up in another 10 seconds. Obviously having that Grave Locket on top of still being early on in the game. Not the longest cooldown in terms of being able to resurrect. So he'll be coming back up here, probably port to the top lane, and look to assist his team here in the near future. So, yeah, looking really good right now for the Hellboy team. This could be that final push that we're talking about. We'll see what our Legion side does in Viet All-Stars in terms of trying to stop this. They've got the Portal King Moraxis. They have Pyromancer. She's got her, solid early items at least. Good to go. As well as, well, the rest of the team. It's not going to get much better at this time. So Monkey King actually charging in right here. Going to go balls to the wall onto Aluna. Trying to make something happen. Dr. Repulsor jumps to the background in the meantime. Here comes the initiation. Keeper of the Force going to follow it up shortly. I'm sure Plague Rider going to come out. There goes Polywog Priest dropping. Actually, Pharaoh taking a lot of damage. And actually, the Legion team not in the worst spot right now, although Pyromancer will end up falling. And Moraxis trying to chase down Aluna. Ain't going to happen, though. She'll be fine. Torture gets picked off. And now Moraxis realizing he may have overstepped his boundaries a little bit too much. Dr. Repulsor is chasing. Electric Turd goes down for the Electric Frenzy proc. Moraxis will fall as your boy Harry right there snipes him with the power throw. We are seeing some GG wall plays being called. Monkey King going to get caught out as soon as he jumps in. So he will get the kill to Dr. Repulsor actually right before. But clearly, I think both teams have kind of agreed at this point that this game is going to be ending here in the near future. So
Gorilla wants more fight. He's on a serial killer streak right now, man.
True.
With that Strider's Monkey King.
5, 6, and 3, man.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that before, though. That's kind of funny. He will go very, very fast with that ultimate being level 2. Let's see what his movement speed is. It is
haste.
It's haste.
He has haste.
There you
that
go.
Is interesting, yeah. Maybe it's this is something new. We'll bring this up to Cookies and see how he feels.
I'll see if I can get Cookie's seal of approval.
Yes, that's what we're looking for with Monkey King. Yes.
Yep.
Hell, running at haste speed, it's ain't too shabby. Whether or not it's going to do enough to make a comeback in this game, yeah, probably not. Polywog Priest does have a level 1 codex still, so.
Anyway, talking about what happened last fight, as Monkey King went in, of course, Keeper of the Force went in the background, was able to get that Blink Root on a number of heroes. I think it was 3, might have even been 4, but I'm pretty sure it was just 3. And, I mean, that's always a great tool to have when you're able to, that was similar to what I was talking about last game with Bubbles. If one person jumps in for the enemy team, you jump in on the rest of them and stop the follow-up, and that's exactly what Keeper did there.
Pharaoh catches Moraxis here at the top side, watched him walk by their ward aside that they had placed right here, and easily sets up a kill, so another case of Legion team. They just don't have really much to any map control right now. The Hellborn team just really has their way at this point, as they currently have a 24-10 hero kill advantage amongst many other stats that are just well in their favor. So clearly for Viet Assassin, or why do I keep saying that? Viet All-Stars, They are, still playing it out. This is, the end of not only the match, but unfortunately the tournament for them if they lose here. So, okay, so you might as well play it out as much as possible. Try to get the most fun out of it. See if there's any hopes, but it is looking like more and more as this game advances. Squirtle is going to guarantee themselves a victory and move on here in the losers bracket. They do push another tower up top here. And yeah, there you go. Dr. Repulsor flying in with that ludicrous speed right there. Torture is going to be picked off. Miraxis tries to counter. He jumps on a give it the force actually as soon as he jumped in. He's trying to get a root off. The plague is bouncing around though, but Miraxis will fall when it's all said and done. Pharaoh in the meantime with the mummy walls up. He will go down actually. But now Monkey King actually in a pretty dangerous spot. Dr. Repulsor jumping in, takes out Plague Rider right there. Pyromancer gets dodged. As Dr. Repulsor looking to finish him off. Yes, he will. And the hasted Dr. Repulsor will get the hell on out of there. So, genocide coming out here for the Hellborn team. There was a vote to concede, but not going through just yet. Not everyone agrees. Gorilla wants to make something happen here with this Monkey King, but unfortunately that might have been the wrong decision. He jumps in and will double tap, coming out for 5s right there. Playing the Keeper of the Forest.
Yep, and that was the second buyout for Monkey King. There is another vote to concede. We'll see if this one actually does go through. It is pretty crazy at this point. But, yep, GG well played all around. And it looks like Squirtle will take the series 2-0 and advance further on in this loser bracket.
Yeah, congratulations to Squirtle. I'm sure they're excited for that. Like I said, what this means for them, not only are they still alive here in the $10,000 prize pool HoN Tour Qualifiers, a chance for them to get a piece of that prize pool, but also a chance for them to still qualify for the higher brackets in the eventual HoN Tour cycle. Of course, you're shooting for, not at the very least, the silver, if not the gold, if, dare I say, the diamond division. So there's plenty of spots open. I mean, you're looking at just over 100 teams between the diamond, gold, and silver. So this is a team, wouldn't be too surprised to at least see them in silver, maybe even the gold, depending on, how they play eventually on. Diamond, it is a tough top tier of league to get into, but we'll see. We'll see how their success goes.
Well, now help me out here. So it goes 16 diamond.
Yes.
And then 30, it just doubles after
so
that,
16,
right?
and then the next 32 after that, obviously. So at that point, you have 48 teams total. And then the next 64 after that. So that is what? There's 112 teams, if I did my math correctly? 102 teams? 112 teams, I believe, is what it comes out to.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, there's actually a good chance for a lot of these teams that are up and coming to be in that gold division in particular. I mean, that's a lot of teams available. When you think about the top 16, I mean, 16 teams is actually quite a lot of teams for that diamond division. So that's going to include a lot of the teams that we saw that weren't your top teams, but still playing at that level in the tournaments that we've casted before. So I'm talking teams like FYKU or Call It Karma. I mean, those are actually the teams that really do come to mind when you think of 16 teams. That's a lot of teams. So there's a very good chance of these teams that are playing well right now, that are moving their way up the tournament, that could play in that gold division.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. The silver, the gold, and then eventually the diamond, to see teams like this making their appearance in there. And again, if anything, a big part of this HoN Tour event is not only to allow everyone to really get the experience of competitive HoN, but to just get experience in general and make yourselves a better team. If you want to play Heroes of Newerth as I always say, I think it should be played in the competitive sense, then here's your chance with HoN Tour, and we're going to start seeing that as time goes on. Maybe right now a lot of these teams may not be the most refined for obvious reasons. They're just simply haven't had the whole lot of experience, opportunity, chance out there. But with HoN Tour, that really is all going to change. They'll have plenty of experience opportunity every single couple of weeks with the cycles once that eventually gets going on here after the HoN Tour qualifiers. So excited to see, what Squirtle can do in Australia region team, obviously, so representing well over there and seeing how far they can advance. But at least for now, they stay alive here in the losers bracket. V8 All-Stars, unfortunately for them, their road does end here, and they will officially be in the bronze division. But hey, you can work your way up with that set. So every single cycle, there will be teams moving up and down between the divisions. So there's plenty of opportunity there, Trev.
Yeah, they definitely can work themselves up, and I think that's the model, the way the system works, and that's how, and originally they wanted HoN Tour to work, is to work your way up, and they don't want the top teams playing the casual players. They still want to make a little bit of money on the side. That's not how HoN Tour was designed. And it's going to work out well. I mean, the teams that still want to are still striving to be better and, want to practice and become one of those top teams and climb the ranks. This is the perfect tournament for that. And we're going to see a lot of teams work their way up and go through the rankings from bronze to silver, from silver to gold, and so on.
Yes, it's gonna be fun, man. But here we are with the HoN Tour qualifiers. Again, it's just all beginning, really. So with that said, we are obviously done for our first half of coverage today. We are going to be taking a quick, not necessarily a quick break, but we're going to be taking a break here, I believe. We're going to be going off stream for now, and then we'll be coming back. As I said earlier, at this point, it is scheduled to to start at 4:30 Eastern. That's 21:30 Central European Time. We will have a winners bracket match coming at you that we'll announce. Stay tuned to our Twitters, our Facebook, at HoNcast, of course, at TrailHon.
And at BreakyCPK.
And the Facebook as well. There's plenty of updates that I do my best to give you guys. For those that are looking to tune in, wondering what's going on, we will let you know. So for now, we say farewell, but again, tune in with what is really just over an hour from now here at HoNcast, and we'll be coming back at you with our second part of HoN Tour coverage, a winners bracket matchup, best of 3. It's going to be fun. So until then, guys, we'll see you then.